So, improbably, I'm representing Brazil. That doesn't make any sense. Rather, I should be representing like my Scots-Irish heritage, right? So, I'm one of those people, I grew up in Massachusetts, that always has been a searcher, thinking that if I enter another culture, another land, somehow I'll find a portal to another existence, expand the possibility of what it means to be human. So that brought me from Massachusetts to California. And then that wasn't good enough. So it wasn't, so world travels ensued. It wasn't until I got to South America. Yes, this is my continent. I learned Portuguese, started around 5 years ago. I've been to Brazil a few times. And yeah, so I'm going to start with a poem about in 2010. I wrote, these are my first impressions of Brazil. It was like one of those compare and contrast poems, like US, Brazil. What's different? What can I learn from that? So lá in Portuguese means there. And my friend's family, his brother was always asking me, lá, do they do this? Like in the US, do they do this? And so that gave me the idea for the title. Lá, there. There, babes are held in arms, on the pulse of the chest. Not, as in the States, away in the distant island of the stroller. There, food is not fuel, but a chance of meeting. Have you eaten? A form of greeting. There on the walls at Belo Horizonte, someone has covered whole buildings in script, as if it were kindergarten paper, wide rule, and has made his A's with right tip flipping up, an arrow to kick a mystic forró on the flow of time. When you arrive, your airline ticket is not a card, but a slip liable to be ripped, ephemeral as this, our life together. And you suspect it is a sign that everything is uncertain, that life is not the solid edifice you thought you were building yourself to be, marketing your curriculum vitae. It is improvised. We are just playing this tune by heart. There, life is not a profession. It is an art. There, the tribe of the circle, the forest Indian reaching for trees high fruit, refusing to labor in fields of sugarcane. The African in the dark of a gold mine, objecting to the ugly glint, holding principles beneath the crust of chain-rubbed skin. To escape, to create, a hidden village in the mountain, a paradise of home in the scrub. Here, the circle of the tribe is not far off. It still sways in the day's circadian rhythms, the swing of time, sachet of aching, ashe of making. And the self is not a lone rock outcrop in the ocean, but rather one crag in the labyrinth of minerals, spines embedded in this, our pretty, dirty earth. Here, the web of relations, invisible threads spinning, giving, receiving, receiving, giving, serving, attending, is still palpable, as natural as the foot that sweeps triangles and circles to a samba beat. I have saudades for there where the 90-year-old caipira man sits at sundown outside his garden, looks and repeats, "A vida é boa." Life is good. life is sweet. So the next song, thank you so much. The next,
can you try the phone? I don't
yes.
like the feedback. Maybe we'll try this one. I think this is what's causing the feedback. Maybe try this. Sorry.
Let's try this one. Do you like it better? All right, good. It's all about your pleasure, remember. Okay, so let's move. That was in Belo Horizonte. So let's move to Salvador, Bahia. So Salvador is the capital of Bahia State, which is the most renowned as being the most African place out of Africa. So I was there just in this past January. Okay, ontology in Salvador. Life needs a soundtrack, and it has. In Salvador, everyone bustles close. Why be apart? Why be far? What for? Everyone bustles close in Salvador. Life needs a soundtrack, so it has 6 speakers symphonizing samba pop on each street, as if one for each ear in your head. The lone self-thinking is not a thing. Here in Salvador, you breathe others through each pore. Forget contemplation, instead instrumentation. Graffiti. Recall the past, suffer twice. That's why here we're present only. Nice. Learned what no end of Buddhists couldn't teach. We are physically dependent. Life's a beach. Teenage boys swing arms around mother's hips. A man tweaks another's erect nipples. Daughters caress mom's hair. Grown men hold hands and stroll with grandma. Mall mannequins sport just pecs and underwear. Everyone responds to the call of the siren, whether police or mermaid when she flows like Samba Hege at the edge of the sea. In the Pelourinho, where slaves were tied to whipping post, we forget it was a silent place. No horse carriages, for shoeless humans carried each heavy load on backs. Even whites transported in hammocks on a stick held by dark shoulders. Portugal denied industry, so no factories, all labor of body. Modernization came short years ago, tourism, which yet carries master-slave relations. High city separates from low. Birds pass between along the fault. Music always as if by megaphone, music always between. Strange days along this Kua. Being close, sweat, forget, and danza. Samba. It is all in the feet, which open outward like the locks in manacles. Side to side, and soon you strut. Everyone does. Somehow hip and ass bones jut out. And we are singing again of the siren of the sea, she who flows like curves of the green mohu, where the low sun strokes it. In Salvador, por the soul, we amble close. Someone is taking a bath of herbs. Someone is singing to Shango. We move in instrumentation. Heiko, feiticeiro. Someone cast a spell. May you and you and you, may we live well. And I'll close with a poem called Hammock. So one of my Brazilian friends moved somewhere else to a foreign country, and he imported his hammock, and it was all tangled. And I thought he'd just throw it out, but he spent weeks trying to untangle that hammock. So I realized this is a major metaphor in Brazilian culture. And actually, interestingly, the name for it is rede, which means both hammock, web, and mesh. So you can see the larger resonance. And it's important to know in this poem that in Portuguese, if you're blue, that means you're happy. Hammock. A Brazilian is picky about his hammock. It must swing like the seas, rocking a window outside Rio, swing like a bossa nova rhythm, lilting from the corner of a night cafe. A Brazilian is picky about his hammock. Its net must echo the net of ancestor fishermen who trawled shore of sea, banks of Amazon. Its handicraft joins two streams, delicate and practical. Once upon the map of Brazil, to weave a hammock is to weave a myth, to hear a story in the crossing of fibers. Mandioca root, to eat is toxic. You must pound and pound until it gives up its poison, releases bitter core, becomes only bliss. That condiment to bind each day, each minute with yes, yes again. When you see through the web, spaces unsolid show the sky blue. In Brazil, blue blows happy, like the breeze which rocks the cradle primordial in which we were born, to which we return, in which we rest, swaying hammock between moments. White webbing, cradle of the sea. Thank you so much.